He flew a helicopter over her high school campus just to make a 15-year-old girl fall in love with him. 4 years later, she was dead in their bedroom, suffocated while their baby daughter slept inches away, and the grieving husband who called 911 with his nose was begging the world to find the masked killers who tied him up and destroyed his perfect life. The entire country mourned with him, until the smartwatch on her wrist and the fitness tracker in his pocket told a story he couldn't outrun. This is the true nightmare of Sophia and Tyler Reed, a fairy tale romance that began with rollerblades and ended with a confession no one saw coming. Running off with the love of your life and getting married is the ultimate daydream for countless high school girls. Sophia Bennett was no exception. Just a 15-year-old sophomore, she was swept off her feet by a wealthy 28-year-old charter pilot who buzzed his helicopter right over the football field at her school in coastal Oregon. He won her heart in weeks, and before anyone could stop it, the two eloped and said, "I do." What started as a picture-perfect teen romance would soon spiral into a murder that stunned the entire country. On Tuesday, May 11, 2021, at 4:30 in the morning, a man named Tyler Reed, everyone called him Ty, was jolted awake in terror. He and his young wife were renting a 2-story craftsman house on a quiet cul-de-sac in Portland's suburb of Lakewood. Ty barely had time to react before 3 masked men stormed the bedroom. Hoodies hid their faces, guns were already drawn, and within seconds they had him pinned, zip-tied, and gagged with duct tape over his eyes and mouth. Helpless, he listened as they turned on his 19-year-old wife, Sophia Reed. Their 11-month-old daughter, asleep in the next room, began to wail. The intruders, speaking with thick Eastern European and Spanish accents, demanded to know where the cash was hidden. Sophia had no way of knowing a simple home invasion robbery was about to become her murder. Sophia Bennett was born on July 12, 2001 in Portland to retired Navy engineer David Bennett and his wife Claire Delgado. When she was 8, the family moved to the small coastal town of Seaview on the Oregon coast, a place her parents instantly fell in love with. Growing up steps from the Pacific, Sophia lived for the water, surfing, free-diving, anything that kept her in the waves. She first locked eyes with Tyler Reed during Seaview's annual 4th of July parade in 2017. He was a cocky, well-off helicopter pilot. She was a 15-year-old in cut-off shorts and a sun-bleached ponytail. 3 years later, on July 15, 2019, they got married in a quick ceremony in Reno, Nevada. Only days before her death, Tyler and Sophia had closed on a wooded acre outside Seaview, dreaming of building their forever home for themselves and their little girl. Sophia's parents had gifted them $50,000 for the land. Another $10,000 in cash, the money for the foundation and framing, was stashed inside the house. People in that part of Oregon still didn't trust banks after the 2008 crash and the constant rumors of another one coming, so keeping cash at home felt normal, even smart. Sophia never imagined that choice would cost her her life. A scream for help. Tyler, Sophia, and their crying baby were paralyzed with fear as the robbers tore through drawers. Desperate to make it stop, Tyler told them exactly where the money was hidden, an odd spot nobody would guess, inside the box of a Monopoly game tucked on a shelf. The men ripped it open, stuffed the cash into their pockets, then kept ransacking the house for jewelry and anything else of value. They weren't leaving. Tyler could hear Sophia pleading, then screaming, as one of the men pressed a gun to their daughter's head. Blindfolded and choking against the rope around his neck, Tyler thrashed until he blacked out. When he came to, the house was silent except for his baby's cries. After nearly half an hour of inching across the floor, he managed to nudge his phone with his nose and dial 911. The call was chaotic, muffled, panicked words through the tape. All the dispatcher could make out was, "Robbers, please hurry, my wife." First responders arrived just after 6 a.m. What they walked into was a nightmare. The living room and kitchen looked like a tornado had hit. Cabinets emptied, cushion covers slashed, clothes everywhere. The Monopoly box sat gutted on the coffee table. A home security camera had been yanked off the wall and tossed onto the couch. Its memory card was gone. Hanging from the staircase banister was the lifeless body of their 7-month-old husky pup, strangled with her own leash. Upstairs, Tyler was hogtied on the bedroom floor, duct tape sealing his eyes and mouth. On the bed lay Sophia, face down, motionless. Their daughter sat beside her, sobbing and patting her mother's cheek, trying to wake her up. Paramedics checked for a pulse. None. Sophia was gone. Tyler collapsed when the tape was cut away and he saw his wife's body, the girl he'd loved since she was 15. Police initially reconstructed the crime like this: 4 professional robbers, 3 inside, 1 lookout. They approached through the backwoods, tried the rear door, then popped the pins on a small basement window. Once inside, they killed the dog, rushed the bedroom, trashed the place, found the cash, and suffocated Sophia with a pillow when she fought back. Maybe because she was a competitive kickboxer, or maybe because she saw a face. They assumed Tyler was dead too, and fled with $10,000 cash and another $20,000 in jewelry. The autopsy later revealed Sophia had endured 6 agonizing minutes. Bruises on her arms and chest showed she'd fought hard. Marks on her lips suggested something sharp had been used to keep her quiet. No sexual assault. The only clue left behind was a single knit cap one of the robbers apparently lost in the struggle. Tyler, still dazed, helped create a composite sketch: a heavy, dark-skinned man over 6 feet tall. He also described the guns: 1 black semi-automatic, 1 silver revolver. For weeks, the nation was gripped by fear. This felt like the work of a ruthless crew that had been watching the young family. A police spokesperson called it exceptionally cruel and the work of someone completely devoid of empathy. Reward money climbed, tips poured in. Then 37 days after the murder, 3 detectives were quietly demoted. Pressure mounted, the public grew restless. Then 37 days after the murder, everything flipped. Investigators noticed things that never added up. The basement window was too small for the large man in the sketch. Neighbors heard only the dog crying, no crashing furniture, no screams, no baby until much later. The security camera memory card had been removed at 1:20 a.m., hours before the supposed robbers arrived. Sophia's smartwatch recorded her heart rate spiking at 4:05 a.m. and flatlining by 4:11 a.m., long before Tyler said the attack began. Tyler's own phone, meanwhile, logged hundreds of steps while he claimed to be tied up on the floor. And no one, not one officer, could dial a phone using only their nose the way Tyler insisted he had. The final pieces. The night she died, Sophia had searched for hotels and sent a friend a text that read, "I can't do this anymore. I'm leaving him tomorrow." Detectives flew to Seaview the day of Sophia's memorial, waited until the service ended, then quietly asked Tyler to come back to Portland to look at a new suspect. He agreed, still playing the grieving husband. 8 hours later, in an interview room, they laid out every contradiction, every impossible timeline, every damning piece of digital evidence. Tyler Reed's story collapsed. The fairy tale husband, the pilot who landed a helicopter to impress a 15-year-old girl, confessed to murdering the teenage bride he had isolated, controlled, and finally silenced when she threatened to leave with their daughter. The perfect love story had never been a love story at all. It was a trap that ended in a bedroom in suburban Oregon on a quiet spring morning in 2021. What do you think happened in that bedroom on May 11th, 2021? Did the fairy tale pilot truly snap and kill the teenage bride he'd chased since she was 15? Or is there still a piece of this puzzle the police never found? Drop your theory in the comments. Did Tyler fool everyone until the very end? or is the real monster still out there? And if this story chilled you, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe so you never miss the next one. Because some love stories don't end with happily ever after. They end with a confession in an interrogation room at 3 a.m. See you in the next case.